fan. Michigan's going to be behind the 8 ball, and then I saw Ohio State did the same thing. And so I'm sure Michigan State, I haven't seen anything on that. I'm sure they're doing the exact same thing.
Yeah, right. One of the encouraging things that I heard yesterday, I was having a conversation when I was down at the BetMGM with just a random customer, and they had flown in for this, and they told me that there was 12 people on the flight. Yeah. I mean, so I think this has been happening, especially since the beginning of the week, that air travel has really started to be limited. Obviously, the airlines are getting crushed by this, and they're going to need help, from our government, probably. There's several CEOs who have said that this is going to be worse than the impact of 9/11.
Yeah.
But I like the fact that people have already started doing things before all this stuff happened, so that it is limiting potential spread.
I agree. I think you're exactly right. And as there was, all sorts of stuff going on social media, one of the things it's hard to describe on the radio, there was this graph going around where it's like, this is what can happen if we don't do the measures that have been recommended. Really simple things. Wiping down your work area, social distancing, not shaking hands, washing your hands. And this is what can happen if we don't. And it really should hopefully have a very limiting effect. So, but you know what? For every one of those articles, you read other ones that are just like downright frightening. Like I read one, I don't know. I don't even want to be a purveyor of bad news. Like I was driving into work this morning and I was listening to CNN on the radio just to get what the latest was overnight. And I want to say, quite honestly, shame on them because they're playing this music in and out of every commercial break, and it's out of a horror movie. You know what I mean? It's like coronavirus. It's like we're already on edge. Okay, you don't need to. It's like might as well throw a tombstone up there while we're at it. Death comes to America's shores. Like, I'm not saying it's the news media's job to calm everybody down, but it's also not their job to ramp everybody up.
Exactly.
And that kind of bothers me.
And I'm worried about that. Like, I actually was texting with some friends last night after a lot of this news came out, and I do fear that there's going to be a little bit of a panic later in the day. I feel the same like I felt on 9/11, and then you saw the lines at the gas station that night. Remember that? And how eerie that was?
Don't you feel like we're already there? Like one of my friends posted a picture on Facebook yesterday of the line to get into Costco for the opening yesterday. There was a line throughout the entire parking lot in like Livonia, at the Livonia Costco, to get in. I assume for people to buy flats of water and toilet paper, which is like, I'm sorry, I don't see toilet paper and or water being a big issue going forward.
No, and the problem is that there's like a run on it. Well, then a week or two down the line, stores going to be stocked to replenish for the people who didn't panic.
I think they're worried about people being quarantined. The people are worried about not getting out of their house to go get products in the future.
No, I understand that.
That's why they're hoarding.
But I mean, don't most people have enough toilet paper? Like, how often do people buy toilet paper?
I don't know.
We go through we buy the 12 packs or whatever.
We go to Costco and we buy a big thing of toilet paper.
Yes, I know.
Maybe once every couple months.
Yeah. Well, not everybody does that. Here's something I saw that was interesting. It was a graphic that explained the difference between coronavirus, the cold, and the flu. So, because a lot of people don't understand what the difference is. So, a cold, sore, scratchy throat, cough, runny nose, stuffy nose, mild fever, if any. Flu, high fever over 100, extreme exhaustion, muscle or body aches, dry cough, chills, stuffy nose, headaches, possible vomiting or diarrhea, more common in children. Coronavirus, fever, dry cough, noticeable shortness of breath, symptoms appear 2 to 14 days after exposure.
Yeah.
So those are the differences. Right? I mean, a lot of people aren't sure whether they have the flu or whether they have coronavirus. You have to have a fever to have coronavirus.
Right. Some ticket text 97136. Great question here. Has the 2 Grand Slam been suspended, or will you still play?
It's a fluid situation.
We're gonna have an announcement. We're gonna have an announcement about the 2 Grand Slam coming up at 7:02.
We're waiting to hear an email from Frank Intercom.
Yeah, we're trying to limit social interaction with people, and obviously there are some deep concerns, but we'll have an announcement coming up at 7:02. On my plane now from LaGuardia, I'm going to NYC on LaGuardia. 10 people on the plane. Can you imagine that? Your mic's off. Your mic's off. Now it's off. It's off.
I know. It kept getting stuck.
It's a sign of coronavirus.
Yeah,
if your mic goes off.
Exactly. I'm supposed to go to Las Vegas next week, and chances are we're not going. But I just checked to see what the flight that I paid a few months ago was like, close to $700.
Yes.
Now it's the same flight, exact same flight. It's like $300. So if you're willing to go travel somewhere.
said what Jay Adonde said, which is instead of refunding the money for people already purchased the tickets.
Right.
Look, if I were a season ticket holder, I'd probably want my money back. It's easier said than done. My overall point is that I'm guessing the Detroit Lions are valued at how many billions of dollars? I mean, I'm not saying, look, they can do whatever they want. It would be a very nice gesture for the owners of the local pro teams. And while we're at it, venues.
Yes.
Because there's concerts that are going to be canceled. There's a lot of people who are going to lose out on a lot of money who don't have salary jobs, and it would be a nice thing to look out for them a little bit as well. This is typical in Michigan. We finally get sports betting, and now sports are done. LOL.
That's not the case. You can make futures.
And what? We don't know who's going to be on the team.
Right.
I mean, Vince Carter played his last game probably last night.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, think about all the potential free agents for next year. Who knows?
Exactly.
I still think we'll see an NBA champion.
I hope so. Because
My feeling is the NBA will probably suspend its regular season and start the playoffs near when they normally start.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with that. We might not see an NCAA tournament, but we will see an NBA tournament for sure. All right, 7 o'clock. Time for a sports update with Tony. 97 won the ticket.
WXYT FM and WXYT HD1 Detroit. For Radio.com sports station from the Planet Fitness Studio. Sports headlines all day, every day. This is 97.1 The Ticket.
This update is powered by SoldByMarkZ.com. The NBA season was officially suspended by Commissioner Adam Silver last night after Utah Jazz center Rudy Gobert reportedly tested positive for the coronavirus. That news doubly impacts the Pistons since Gobert and the Jazz were just in town for a game back on Saturday night. Because of that, Langston Galloway and the Pistons players are being tested and will likely be self-quarantined for the next 14 days.
We're being cautious. We're listening to the direction of what the league wants to do going forward, and we just continue to just stay on protocol.
News courtesy of Fox Sports Detroit. As for when the NBA season might begin again, most believe it'll be a month minimum before the games could possibly resume. Before the stoppage took place, the Pistons lost to the Philadelphia 76ers 124-106. That game last night in Philadelphia. The impact of the coronavirus also being felt in college basketball. As Big Ten officials confirmed last night, fans won't be allowed to attend the conference's postseason tournament in Indianapolis, beginning with today's second-round games. That decision would come just hours after NCAA President Mark Emmert announced the fans won't be allowed in the stands for the upcoming men's and women's basketball tournaments, which begin next week. Only immediate family members, broadcasters, and school and conference officials will be allowed to attend any and all tournament games. Round 2 of the Big Ten tournament set to get underway this afternoon when Michigan clashes with Rutgers. You can hear that game over on AM 950. Tip-off is at 12. Couple of finals of note from last night's action. Minnesota defeats Northwestern 74-57. Indiana knocks off Nebraska 89-64. The two-game road trip begins tonight for the Red Wings as they skate against the Washington Capitals in Washington. We'll have the game right here on the ticket starting at 6:40. Congratulations to a pair of former Lions, Holmes Brown and Jason Hansen. They were both elected yesterday to the College Football Hall of Fame. From the Ticket Update Desk, I'm Tony Ortiz. For more, stay tuned to 97.1 The Ticket and Radio.com.
And also former Michigan lineman Jumbo Elliott.
That's right. Jumbo into the Hall of Fame. And David Pollock.
And I forget what high school went to. Was it Chazzy? I don't remember Michael Westbrook. Also, local kid, but the Hail Mary from Real Stewart.
They just beat the living hell out of Stephen Davis.
That's right.
Remember that? Yes. Remember that video?
Oh, yeah.
When he was playing for the Redskins. All right, it is 7:03. The official announcement we have determined. We talked to the commissioners, league offices, and school presidents. The two Grand Slam from this point forward will take place. Yes, it will take place. We'll do it with no fans. So if you get in to play the two Grand Slam, great. If you don't, we ask you to turn off the radios. Right? Is that, no, just kidding.
No, you just can't.
We don't want any congregation of fans listening.
No, we want them listening. They just can't. They just can't play in their car.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yes, we will do the two Grand Slam at 7:25 this morning. So other than that, I think we'll probably be talking all morning long about the COVID-19. And here is our COVID-19 insider, Heather Park.
Oh, I like it.
Oh, yeah?
Yes, thank you.
We know like on the ABC News, they go, let's go now to our science editor.
That's true.
Yeah. Or our aviation expert.
I mean, I could have a whole long list.
Yes, you could.
Just call me the expert.
The expert.
Just the expert
There
in
she
everything,
is,
right?
the expert,
So
Heather Park.
the coronavirus has officially been classified as a global pandemic, and it has officially hit Michigan. And now, with 2 confirmed cases in Wayne and Oakland County, things like hand sanitizer, disinfectant wipes, toilet paper, and thermometers are selling out at multiple stores across Southeast Michigan.
Thermometers?
Thermometers, because you have a fever when you have the
doesn't every
coronavirus.
house automatically have a
Oh,
thermometer in
no.
it? Don't you?
We do, but
Yeah.
I wouldn't say every house does.
I'd say maybe if you have children,
Maybe for children, yeah.
yes, you probably have a thermometer, but if you don't have children, you might not have one.
And let me just say, if you have children and you have a thermometer, you should have 2.
Yeah, most likely you should
Because
probably
that
have
first
one.
thermometer went into unspeakable
But
places.
now they have those that just you put on your forehead or in your ear,
Yeah. Exactly. The
which aren't so
The
bad.
Tempur-Pedic. I don't
see?
know what that is, but I always hear the radio commercials.
Those aren't so bad, yeah. But apparently, I mean, Walmart, Costco, Kroger, Meijer, people have just been lining up to stock up on sanitizing products. People are selling out of things left and right.
I just go shopping here at the radio station.
That's what's gonna happen.
Yes.
I'm gonna walk into every stall in the bathroom and it's gonna be out of toilet paper because somebody has stolen it.
Oh, I guarantee there's somebody who probably has done that.
Oh my gosh.
Trying to think who that might be. Anyway, go ahead.
So the woman in Oakland County who tested positive for the coronavirus apparently had very little contact with others in the area, which obviously is the best news you could hope for. Apparently, within a day of arriving back to Michigan after international travel, we don't know exactly where she was, the woman reported to the hospital. So she didn't have a lot of time to just like go mingle in big group settings.
Yeah.
So that's good.
That is great. You know, and I was thinking about the story Stone News told earlier about Fred Hoiberg, the head coach at Nebraska, who coached last night with the flu, not the COVID-19, but with the flu. What a complete and utter jerk.
I know.
I mean, seriously, all you're hearing over and over again is, if you feel sick, stay home or go see
Exactly.
a doctor.
Right.
And here's this guy walking into an arena full of people in a locker room that other teams are going to be using because it's a conference tournament and whatever. It's like, so selfish.
Right.
Even if
and they got no shot to win either.
even if the coronavirus wasn't a thing, it's still selfish to go into any setting like that when you have the
It
flu.
was weird. There was a video of him on the bench with his head down and just like this, and his assistant coach next to him, like sanitizing his hands.
Stay away.
Oh yeah. Tom Hanks and his wife Rita Wilson have announced they have tested positive for the coronavirus. They are both 63 years old, and they revealed the news on social media. So they're in Australia. He is filming a movie, so they're both there. He said that they started to feel tired, kind of like they had a cold. They were having some body aches, some chills that came and went, and then slight fevers as well. And thankfully, they were able to be tested for the coronavirus, which turned out to be positive. And they said that they are going to be isolated for as long as needed. And they're going to take it one day at a time, and they'll keep everyone updated.
I feel bad for a lot of people. Some of the people I feel bad for are like hypochondriacs.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I can just see myself, and I'm not really a hypochondriac, but all of a sudden you're like, wait a minute, is my shoulder sore or is that a body ache?
Right.
I agree. I'm not really one either. However, I could easily, I feel like, start to talk myself into certain things.
Yeah.
Like, you know, am I feeling like this because I just read this, or am I really feeling like that? And
Well, I've had that cough for a few weeks. Well, it's a dry cough, but I don't have any fever. I feel fine except for a cough. I mean,
well, you went to a doctor as well.
yeah,
But they didn't have tests.
no,
My wife's working theory is that it's been here for a while.
oh yeah,
For
And
sure.
that maybe people have already had it and not realized what it was and just burned right through it.
I'm with that. I believe that.
Yeah.
For sure.
there are people that have had coronavirus but not COVID-19 for years.
Yes, I know.
Yeah, it has been around.
Yes.
So Harvey Weinstein, he was sentenced to 23 years in prison for criminal sexual conduct and third-degree rape. Now, before the sentencing, he actually told the judge that he was remorseful, but he was, quote, totally confused by the charges. And
So
then,
why is he remorseful?
Well, he's still remorseful, but he doesn't understand why he's getting the charges he's getting.
I feel awful for what I did, but I don't understand why I'm being charged for
Yes.
what I did.
You got
Why I have
it.
to spend the rest of my life in
You got it.
prison.
Yeah, he was hoping for 5 years max.
Yeah.
But his lawyer also said that the sentencing was obscene and obnoxious.
That sentence that was just handed down by this court was obscene. That number was obnoxious.
Obnoxious.
There are murderers who will get off faster than Harvey Weinstein will. That number spoke to the pressure of movements and the public. That number did not speak to evidence, nor did it speak to justice. I am overcome with anger at that number. I think that number is a cowardly number to give. I think the judge caved, just as I believe the jury caved, and I am not happy.
She used a lot of O words.
Yeah, and then she went home and said, you know what, he deserved every second of it, but I have to put on that face because that's what lawyers do.
I guess the judge said, because, you know, if technically he's a first-time offender, even though he appears to be a multi-time offender.
Okay.
So usually first-time offenders with no previous charge get the lower end of the spectrum. But I guess the judge at sentencing said, let's be honest. This may be the first time you're being charged with a crime. It's not the first time you've committed a crime.
Right.
So that's why they feel pretty comfortable
And
23
then,
years.
yet again, instead of going right to jail,
Yeah.
he had to go back to the hospital
Yes.
because he was suffering from chest pains. Now, this happened earlier, before his sentencing, is